125-day wait is over. The 2025 season gets underway. Good start from Alvaro Bautista from the second row of the grid. They head in towards turn number 1. It's Nicolo Bulliga who will lead them. Andrea Iannone on the inside. Bautista comes around Toprak Razgatlioglu and try to pinch him in now by taking the inside line into the southern loop for the first time. Good work that from Alvaro Bautista to leapfrog the BMW of Toprak Razgatlioglu. Petrucci and Redding holding station behind in 5th and 6th places, but it's Bulliga who leads, and a good start from Alvaro Bautista. Opportunity to respond immediately here into Miller Corner because Razgatlioglu is right on his tail. Side by side between the two leaders as well. Diving down the inside as I expected. Toprak Razgatlioglu comes through on Bautista. Redding versus Petrucci, the battle for 5th position behind. Redding's got a really good run here on Toprak Razgatlioglu, was 0.4 of a second faster than him on lap number 4. Problem for Redding is Bautista too is attacking, and Bautista comes from a distance back in the end. Toprak's gone deep. Toprak's gone very deep and is going to lose 2, maybe even 3 places. And all 3 of those Ducatis that have been nibbling on his tail have been given a route through into the podium positions on lap number 6.
And that's the problem that Toprak has right now. He said yesterday that to get the bike stopped and turned is a struggle, and he's now dropped down to 5th position, and he can't afford to drop any further than that. Michael van der Mark behind him, his teammate on the number 60 machine. Van der Mark goes well here at Phillip Island.
A momentary interruption to his flow at very least as Razgatlioglu dives through into turn 1 against Scott Redding here. And, oh, that's a big spill in towards turn number 1. It's that Van der Mark that's gone down.
It is.
And it's Michael van der Mark who falls, and that's a real shame for him from 5th position. Another high-speed crash when you go down into Duans as the riders make their way into the pits now. Nicolo Bulliga leading them, will immediately pit at the first available opportunity.
Bulliga's not the interesting one to see. It's what happens behind them. The Scott Redding, who's been bottled up a little bit, try and use a clear track to open up a bit of a margin.
Well, Toprak Razgatlioglu and Scott Redding will go on. Alvaro Bautista, though, has come into the pits. That means both of the Ducatis pitting on the same lap at the end of lap number 9. We can see from overhead as they make their way in towards the boxes. They're set up side by side, and Nicolo Bulliga has to cut in. Alvaro Bautista will be able to ride straight down pit lane and into his position. Interesting
detail there that on Bulliga's side, they've given themselves the high vis to be able to differentiate themselves for Bulliga coming into the pits.
So Razgatlioglu and Redding continue on. That means that Toprak Razgatlioglu is now your race leader, but we know that's not for long. Scott Redding is going to make sure it's not for long at all as he comes through at Miller Corner, but is not able to get it stopped, and Razgatlioglu is straight back past. These two need to get their head down to the end of this lap. When they pit, they will be coming out very close to Alvaro Bautista, very close to Danilo Petrucci. Will assume the lead once everyone else has pitted. Razgatlioglu will have track position, but the momentum and the speed will be with Alvaro Bautista, and he pulls alongside Scott Redding. Has done enough there, Bautista, to take a net 3rd place. Redding holds on in front of Danilo Petrucci, but it's Bautista there who has lost a lot of ground to Toprak Razgatlioglu. Toprak lap 16 of 20, and we recover our podium contenders. Toprak Razgatlioglu 2nd, 1.4 seconds now ahead of Alvaro Bautista. Sounds like Toprak got a bit of a wake-up call. He is pulling away again. Scott Redding 3/10 behind Bautista, 3/10 back to Petrucci, then Iannone. 9/10 to this man, Andrea Locatelli. We suspected that it was a fight for best to the rest, for 7th or 8th position for Locatelli. It's half a second the gap with 1 lap to go.
Yeah, and once you're within that half second, you do get closer and closer, and the opportunities come up. The problem is to try and overtake Toprak. You're not going to really make that move at turn 4. Turn 6 isn't going to be an easy place to make it. Then you're trying to get the run up over Lukey Heights. For Alvaro Bautista, it's about trying to use the toe off the end of the lap, but then to make the move on the BMW, which has a lot of top speed, is still going to be tough.
Bautista has been fast off the final turn, so there might be an opportunity in the run to the line, but he's got to be very, very close. We've seen down the years, not too many moves get made off the final turn and in the run to the checkered flag.
Yeah, just looking at where Bautista's stronger than what looks gets at the end of the straight, so really tough for Alvaro. But even if he only finishes in 3rd position, it's a good start to the year and a really good ride by him.
You said it at the top of the programme, 3 podiums is the target for Bautista this weekend. Toprak's target damage limitation compared to Nicolo Bulliga. Frankly, that's the situation the whole field has been in, because Bulliga has ripped them apart in Phillip Island today. And here he is, well clear, just riding within himself now, allowing the gap to come down. Bautista only 0.4 of a second from Toprak Razgatlioglu. The race will go to the flag, but I don't think Bautista is quite close enough. Meanwhile, we watch Nicolo Bulliger exit the final turn, and just as he did a year ago, it's first blood to Nicolo Bulliger in the World Championship as he takes race 1 in Phillip Island. Alvaro Bautista will be close to Toprak Razgatlioglu, but the pit stop phase proved costly for him. He lost a second through there. In the end, he's only 0.2 behind Razgatlioglu in the fight for second. Danilo Petrucci, top independent, holds on ahead of Scott Redding by just 1/10 of a second, with Andrea Iannone also in touch at the checkered flag.
Nicolo Bulliger ahead of Toprak Razgatlioglu and Alvaro Bautista. Look at the number of Ducatis in the top 6. 2 Bimotors in the top 10. Good day's work.
You made that look easy. I'm certain it wasn't, but an utterly dominant display here in Phillip Island.
Yeah, honestly, I knew that I had a good pace, but honestly, the first 2 or 3 laps I did, I think, quite good. And then I just managed my gap. And yeah, thanks to my team, because with this flag to flag, there is one thing more to be perfect. So
there's your top 3. And don't forget, we'll be back to do it all again tomorrow.